So today we're gonna be talking to you guys about stuff that we noticed about Utah. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are just annoyances, and I'm going to start it off. All right, so I'm editing the video right now and I realized that I didn't specify the location that we're gonna be talking about, because I'll be talking about freeways right now. The general location is around Salt Lake, anywhere from Provo, American Fork, all the way up to pretty much like, I don't know, Hill Air Force Base. I know that there's more freeways here, but that's the main one that we use, so that's the one that I'm going to be talking about. And yeah, just wanted to give you guys some context. Okay, back to the video. By saying that the freeway.
The freeways.
Yeah, the freeway. No, I should just say freeway. Because there's only one main freeway, which is the 15, and then you have these things called the belt routes. That there's one that goes on the west side of the 15 and then one on the east side of the 15, and that's it. Those are the only freeways, the main ones. One of the things that suck is if there's an accident or if there's a freeway closure, the whole thing is shut down. There's no other option if there is something that happens on that freeway.
The freeways are good and bad at the same time, because all the cities, like, it's just long and all the cities are built on each side of the freeway in between the mountains and then the Great Salt Lake. So it's nice, like, if you just want to go straight someplace, like, it really doesn't take that long compared to other places. But the problem is if there's an accident or closure or whatever, then it gets really congested, especially if there's like multiple accidents. Like, it was raining and I was on the way home from like an appointment like last week, and on the way back there's like 4 different accidents. So it's like you get past one accident, you get to speed up for like a minute, and then there's another accident, and then you're kind of stuck in traffic. So it's like good and bad at the same time, but it's still not as bad as LA traffic, so it's fine.
And to give you guys some perspective, I grew up 99.9% of my life driving LA freeways. And Emily's...
I've lived in so many different states growing up. I've lived in New York, Pennsylvania, North Carolina, South Carolina, California. So I feel like I have a kind of idea of, you know, each state and its quirks that it has, and it's just like good and bad things about it. So yeah, this is just the quirks of Utah.
And speaking of like raining while driving on the freeway, they have the dashed lines, right? Like normal freeways do. But the problem is that since in the wintertime they plow everything, there's no like markers. Like, you know, those, they're like reflective markers, and they probably stick out maybe an inch or two above the ground. And so when it rains and it's nighttime, you cannot see the lines. It is so hard to see the lines. It's pretty much like driving in the winter and the snow in Alaska.
You're kind of just guessing on where the lanes are.
Yeah.
But it's because the plows, apparently we've been told by Melvin's family that they have like some of the best snow plows here, and like because of that they require, I guess, like nothing to be raised off the road. So
yeah. And also I heard that they will be trying out this new paint for next year, I think, that it's supposed to like be reflective so that the plows can still plow and we can see the roads. All right, so the next thing that we noticed, and it's gonna be sticking to the freeway talk, are the drivers. I'm not saying they're bad, but they can't merge. Yeah. Everyone slams on their brakes when you're merging.
Or people don't like get over.
Oh yeah.
They'll stay in the lane, and like, I don't know, I just feel like the way I drive is like if someone's trying to merge, like, and you can get over, then just get over. But it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's just little things.
Either way, I'm gonna fit myself in there. Like.
That's what she said.
Okay, so another thing is the left lane, you better be moving. There's what, maybe 4 or 5 lanes? The middle 2 lanes is like, you're kind of speeding. The right lane is like literally you better be going the speed limit or under. I don't go in the right lane, but the speed limit's 70, right? So naturally people go around like 80, but there's kind of like, you kind of have to go with the flow of traffic because sometimes there's cops and they're like really undercover and undercover vehicles. I typically only go like 75 just because I don't want to pay for a ticket.
Yeah.
But sometimes, like, if the flow of traffic is going really fast, then I'll be going like 75, 80, and people will still be like riding on my freaking butt if I'm in the left lane going like 80. So I just get over. But I get it, people are on different schedules and things like that. I wouldn't say they're like the worst drivers, but like they will ride you if you're in the way and they're trying to get somewhere.
And I also have footage because I have a camera, and I drive more than she does.
Yeah.
So if I have some footage, I'll slap them on here just to show you guys how close these people drive and how fast we're driving.
Yeah.
But also, there's a lot of like highway patrol here.
Cops are hot.
They're always hot. There's always some, they're usually in the same areas. Even though we're going like 75 or whatever, like
some people go like 85, 90.
85, 90, and sometimes the cops do it too. So the cops, I've seen it.
Yeah.
I've seen it.
So another thing that we notice about Utah is that like there's so many different areas that have access to nature that are like not a far drive whatsoever. It's like you can go more towards the water, the Salt Lake, you can go more towards the mountain. I mean, right here is a nature preserve that we're in, and it's maybe a 10-minute drive from our house, and that's like even kind of further. Like there's a lot of trails that are closer to our house, but it's just so nice. And
the access to outdoor activities is like, you shouldn't have an excuse to be like, oh, I can't go on a hike. Like there's people that we've gone out on a hike like late in the afternoon, and people literally just got off of work, and they go on a hike just to end the day. And I think that's something that like we're really like looking for. And we had access to nature in like Alaska, but it's more rugged, and you kind of obviously have to like be more careful here. You still have to be careful. There's mountain lions. There's so many trails that are so close to like where we are, and different things. You can be up in the mountains, you can be in the Great Salt Lake. Like right now we're in a nature preserve, and it's just like there's so much to explore and do that it fits our lifestyle and what we want to do. Also, the cool thing about Utah, if you want to go somewhere that's more mountainous, you go east. If you want to go somewhere more desert, you go south to St. George. So it kind of has everything. And there's like what, 3 or no, I think it's called
like 5.
The 5 national parks out here. So yeah, I mean, we really like it, and yeah, that's like a good thing that we noticed.
Okay, so we've been coming to Utah and like visiting for a few years now, and something I noticed, like this is just my personal preference, I love coffee. There have been a lot more like coffee shops kind of like popping up and things like that, and there's a lot of like really good coffee places, and I don't mean like Starbucks, I mean like actually decent, like good coffee. And there's a lot of food options, not just regular whatever food stuff, but I mean like good quality food, nice restaurants. Sometimes when you see like restaurants and they look really nice, like Instagram worthy, they don't have the best food, but actually these ones have really good food. You don't need to go to like a big city to have good food options. And it's like nice because you have the option to wine and dine here, but then you also have nature like that's accessible. So it's really nice, and I feel like that's a good kind of like balance to have, which leads us into our next point, is that the people here are generally like really nice. And I think when it comes to people who are like happier, I think that people who tend to have more access to nature and trails and the outdoors, feel like naturally they're just kind of like happier people. Obviously that doesn't go for everyone. Yeah, and to elaborate on that too, I actually did a paper on this when I went to school. I did a paper on the benefits of living in nature than in cities, and it's literally been proven people who live out in nature tend to have lower medical problems. They live a longer life. Are we saying that Utah's perfect? No. You know, there's still crappy people in this world, but compared to the places that we've lived in, and also compared to some of the people that we've interacted with in LA, North Dakota, you know, Alaska, you know, we think that Utah is in the top, like, nicer people, I guess. Just like a nice like balance of things. And I mean, I've lived a lot of different places as well, and it's like that was either close to where my parents worked, which was like more of a federal kind of thing. So usually those places, like, you know, military bases and federal jobs and things like that usually aren't located in the best areas because they want the land that they can buy for the cheapest amount, if that makes sense. I know there is a base right here. It's, you know, one of the better bases. A lot of people do want to go to it. We wanted to go to it. It was on our dream sheet, but we didn't get it at the time. But it's just funny that
we're here now.
Yeah, it's just funny that we ended up here. No, this is probably, I think, the favorite place I've ever lived. It's nice to finally get a place where I'm like, this is a really great balance of like the different kind of things that we're interested in. And
I think I'll just end the video here. I don't know how long this thing is, but yeah, this is, you know, just what we've noticed we like about this place, what we not necessarily don't like about it, but it's just little things that we are kind of like, oh, we could live with it. All right, so thank you guys for watching. And if it's your first time here, hello, welcome to our channel. We just moved here and we're gonna explore more of the state. Thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.